Number 9, Luke Launder.
A chance for the Pararoos to confirm their place in Saturday's final on a record-breaking day for Australia's captain. David Barber brings up cap number 110 for his country and goes past Mark Schwarzer in terms of being the most Australian caps by a male, or making the most Australian caps by a male player. Mark Schwarzer, 109, David Barber, 110. And so congratulations to him. A massive day for Australia, and after the result earlier on between Thailand and Japan, that was one apiece. Australia only need to win to confirm their place in the final on Saturday and also at the next World Cup. India against Australia to conclude action on day 6 of the 2023 IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships. Oliver Walker-Peel is my name, and I've got someone alongside me who's got experience of being at a World Cup. Again, it's Matty Hearn. Matty, what a day this could be for Australian football. It already is with David Barber, but even more so if Australia can confirm their place at the next World Cup.
Ollie, absolutely. It's a beautiful day out here in sunny Bundoora, and making history today, David Barber obviously is the big headline, but looking like a really good chance of getting a win over India here today and securing our place in a final, which is what we come here to do.
And just in terms of India's tournament, their average losing margin is 10. They've lost 14-0, 6-0 and 10-0. So they've conceded 30 goals across 3. Australia only have to win. If Thailand would have won this morning, or this afternoon I should say, earlier on today, then they would have needed to win by 2 more than that, Australia. But given that Thailand didn't win, Australia only have to get the 3 points, and you'd back them in as massive favourites to do so. As they get ready to make their way out onto the main pitch of the home of the Matildas. It's a history-making day in at least one sense. Could be in more ways than one come the full-time whistle later on today. After a massive win last night, a 7-1 victory over Japan that was the Pararoos' 50th in their history. A 51st would be even bigger, you'd sense, just to ensure that they are in Spain when the next World Cup rolls around and that they're in the final here on Saturday in the final game of the tournament. And they'll do it for David Barber, who has played in just about every position in so many countries
A spot in the final for
towards the end of the 20th century and through all that we've seen of the 21st as well.
India and your Australian CommBank Pararoos.
The Pararoos are given a hand from the fans in the stands. A massive, massive opportunity for this Australian side to make it to the final of this tournament and to the World Cup. We'll go down to the main pitch for the anthems of India and Australia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite those who are able to be upstanding for the national anthem of India. We now invite those who are able to remain standing for the national anthem of Australia.
So here we go then. A game that means so much and has so many layers to it from an Australian point of view. India, who haven't been on the score sheet so far this tournament. Australia have had the ball in the back of the net plenty of times. 7 last night against Japan. You sense that if they can get one and get off to an early start, it could be party time for the Australian players out there. We'll go to the lineups and we'll start with India, who go with number 10, Vinesh Redipilli-Raman in goal. Number 1 is Deepak Kumar, number 3 Mohammad Ajnas, number 4 Naveen Malik, number 5 Nitin Balian, number 6 is Pandi Ajaran Govindaraj, and number 9 is Siju George. It does look as though Redipilli-Raman will be wearing the number 11, but it's number 10 on the team sheet. And for Australia, aside from David Barber breaking the record, there's another big bit of team news with a debut for Josh Beeks. He's wearing the number 6 for Australia, and it's a big moment for him and his family. He becomes the 62nd player to be capped by the CommBank Pararoos. And so Australia's team then, number 7 is David Barber, number 6 Josh Beeks, number 8 Christian Bitsikas, who makes his 2nd appearance of the tournament and makes his 2nd cap for his country. Number 9 is Luke Launder, number 12 Ben Sutton, number 14 is Augustine Murphy. And so David Barber with the armband on again, as he has had it on right throughout his career. Over 100 games as captain, now 110 as a player of the Pararoos. And Matt, we spoke about David Barber yesterday at length, and we will continue to do so across the broadcast, but just one final word before kick-off. A record breaker. He's gone past the legendary Mark Schwarzer, and legend is thrown around a lot around the sporting world, but David Barber epitomises everything it means to be a legend in so many senses, doesn't he?
He epitomises everything it means to be a legend, everything it means to be a role model, to be a leader of this team. He's done so since the very beginning of this program, and to have him out there, cap 110 with the captain's armband on, huge day for him. His family here watching in the stands, which is wonderful to see. Yeah, big day for him, big day for the team.
And Josh Beeks as well, I want to highlight just before kick-off, wearing the number 6, making his debut for his country, which should be a massive moment. Hails from Bendigo, and now from Bendigo to Bundoora, he makes his senior debut for Australia. And it will be Ben Sutton to get us underway for the green and gold, in the green and gold. India in the navy blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. So Australia with a place in the final on the line. They need to just win to get there. And with an Australian crowd behind them, you'd sense that the crowd will help them there on every step of the way. So 5 changes for Australia. Barber and Lynch, the 2 players to hold their spot from last night's clash. As David Barber officially goes past Mark Schwarzer in terms of appearances for Australia in the men's side of things, as the ball drifts out of play for a corner. Josh Beeks with his first Pararoos touch, formerly of Bendigo City in their junior NPL system. And there's so many that have helped him get here, as the corner's played short for Murphy. Bitsikas into the middle towards Beeks, who couldn't quite help it goal bound. And again, out of play it goes for an Australia ball in. In short towards Murphy, who had a hit. Couldn't keep it down. I think the thing we were both saying, Matt, off air about this lineup, it's a very inexperienced one, and we were saying yesterday how blooding inexperienced players is huge for the next wave of Pararoos, as much as we want it to happen. David Barber can't go on forever, Ben Roach can't go on forever, and it's nice to see these next wave of Pararoos players come through.
Absolutely, and for them to have a run today against India, as you said, having conceded quite a number of goals at this tournament, a number of young players looking to really make their stamp on this game, looking to make a good impression on the coaching staff, really, going out and proving to them that they can be in any starting 7 this team put forward and to make an impact on those teams.
Murphy for Sutton. George couldn't quite clear away. Beeks will go over and retrieve. He's a Victorian, Josh Beeks, as was mentioned, being from Bendigo, so he gets to play in front of a home crowd as it sets up for Augustine Murphy, driving low. Didn't quite settle for Bitsikas inside the box. India can't quite clear their lines. Murphy will find Luke Launder. And Lynch for Launder again, who skips away from one. We'll find Augustine Murphy, may well tee one up! Brushed the side netting on the way by, but couldn't quite get it inside that upright.
And he'll be hungry for goals today. Young Augustine Murphy, obviously, unfortunately missed the penalty against Japan at the end of the game yesterday, and I think he will have taken that personally. I think he'll be hungry for goals today.
His last goal came against Canada in the 2019 World Cup. Someone else very familiar scored in that game, eh, Matt?
I wonder who that could have been, Ollie.
For anyone playing along at home, it doesn't know, it was one Matt Hearn. As it's across for Luke Launder, who again tried to shoot from range, much like Murphy moments ago, but again, same result. Target couldn't be found. To play from Balian, but Seekers to bring it back in. Murphy, Launder, and Taj Lynch yet again. Beeks looking for Seekers down the inside right channel, ball couldn't find him. Getting the ball into touch, Govindaraj. Lynch in towards the middle, Beeks almost turning it goalward. There was a touch from an Indian player in there. Behind the ball goes for a corner, but good build-up play from Australia yet again. Seekers short for Murphy. Goes with a step over, inside the box, Augustine Murphy, what a run! Sutton almost helping it in, right at the back post. Australia building here inside 4.5 minutes. Ben Sutton hasn't opened his Pararoos goal scoring account yet, almost did there. As India look to play out from the back. Now to play for a throw. Have you liked what you've seen so far from the Pararoos, Matt, in the opening 5 minutes or so?
I have, Ollie, I have. We look, much like last night, we look very composed in our build-up play, really looking to get in on those positional interchanges as we move into the attacking third. A lot of smart footballers out there today, a lot of really, really good footballing minds on the park. So look for those switches and interchanges to keep up as we look to muddle the Indian defence as much as we can.
As Launder had a look and almost found the top right corner. Smart save over the top from Madhupilya Raman. Nearly a wonderful hit as again Australia goes short with the corner. Murphy looking for a bit Seekers. Ajnas towards the touchline. Ball didn't cross it though as Murphy looks for a bit Seekers. He looked to tee one up just wide. A lot of warning shots being fired here by Australia, but no accurate ones to this point. Beeks wins the header. Is there a touch from the goalkeeper? Answer is no. As Tijo George will take the goal kick. Again, only as far as Beeks. Now on the right-hand side for Luke Launder. Australia happy to keep the ball here. Launder driving on down the right, had a look. Again, well over the top. They're really looking to make the Indian goalkeeper work, but other than the one that was arrowing towards the top corner earlier on, really had a save to make. Launder inboard. Here's Bitsikas for Launder. Back for Christian Bitsikas. Sutton off the post. So close for Ben Sutton. And you'd be hard pressed to find a more popular goal scorer than Ben Sutton out there.
You'd be hard pressed to find anyone who it'd mean more to than Ben Sutton if he'd have opened his scoring account there for us.
Launder cutting it back. Beeks is there. Good save. Turn it behind. And yet another Australia corner is on the way. Towards Beeks, who goes over. Augustin Murphy on the scene. Shot was blocked. And another Australia corner set to come. They're really piling the pressure on at the moment, the Pararoos. Sent into the middle, towards Murphy on the volley, over the top. Sent long by George, header one by Beeks, it'll break for Josh Beeks! Onto the crossbar from the goalkeeper, who has had to make a couple of crucial saves now. Josh Beeks almost with his first goal on his Pararoos debut. In by Bitsikas, over the head of Murphy. And again out of play. This now the longest India have gone without conceding their first goal. Sutton wins a corner. Conceding the 6th minutes against Thailand, which was the next worst, as Murphy looking to curl one. But couldn't quite. Well, next best, I should say, from an Indian point of view. But they have gone 10 minutes now into the 11th and haven't conceded as of yet. Sure, it's not something that Kai Lammett will be too worried about.
No, they are doing quite a good job, Ollie, of parking the bus, so to speak, against us. In defence, having a large number of their players in the penalty area, making it quite difficult for us to break down the defence and get in and play those sort of futsal-style switches that you see so often from the likes of Iran and from Russia and Ukraine, some of the top teams in the world. Really like to play short, sharp passes in the box to really try to open up the defence in there. India have done a good job of really sort of keeping that space difficult for us to work in, hence the number of long shots that we've had thus far.
Murphy wins a header into the box. George behind for another Australia corner. Let's rinse and repeat from Pararoos' point of view. Win corners, play them short, get it into the box, and try and work something from that. Lynch in towards the middle, looking for Murphy. Ajnas's got a foot in behind for a corner. And here we go again, Matt.
You'd have to think that that one of these opportunities, the the lid's going to pop right off for us, and we'll slot in our first one. But as long as the boys keep their heads cool and focus on the job at hand, I'm sure we'll pop one in.
But Seekers to take the corner. Murphy. Launder square if he wants, he does. Launder going low. Sutton for Bitseekers, and Murphy saved again by the goalkeeper. Launder lifting one in. India still can't clear away. Heavy touch from Murphy. And we sound like broken records. No guesses for what's coming next will be rewarded with any sort of prize. Goes short again, Bitseekers. Back for Beeks, inside the area. Goes over, he was tripped. Penalty Australia. And this could be the moment where it all breaks open. We saw Augustin Murphy fouled yesterday and he took the resulting penalty. Will Josh Beeks do the same and step up after winning it? Doesn't look like it.
Can we Ben Sutton to take?
Benny Sutton. This would be a story. Into his 12th cap for his country. He is yet to score in green and gold. Ben Sutton, off the bar and in! Now he has a Pararoos goal! And he absolutely loves it. Only just, but just is enough for Australia, who lead in such a crucial game.
Australia goal scored by number 12, Ben Sutton. The score is now Australia 1, India 0.
And it was an emphatic penalty.
Shades of Zinedine Zidane in the 2006 World Cup final, Ollie.
There was almost shades of Lena Hurtig in the Women's World Cup, whether we wondered did it cross the line or not. The cross to Bitseekers! And they've got a quick-fire double, the Aussies! It may well have taken a touch on the way through, but Christian Bitseekers wheeling away for the celebrations. And on the replay, it looks as though he has his first Pararoos goal.
Australia goal scored by number 8, Christian Bitseekers. The score is now Australia 2, India 0.
And so, 2 maiden goals for Australia in the blink of an eye. Can Josh Beeks add his name to the list? He moves down the right, drives in low. Not yet dealt with from an Indian point of view. Bitseekers reloads it for Beeks, who finds Luke Launder. He's also waiting for his first Pararoos goal. He looked for Bitseekers, couldn't quite find him. And how good a moment is it when a player opens their account for their country? We've seen it twice, and both times it's been absolutely brilliant.
Ollie, it's always a special thing. I certainly remember my first. I know a number of these players out here will certainly remember theirs as well.
Launder almost finding his.
Incredible to do it in front of a home crowd as well.
Do you remember your first? I say, of course you remember your first, but take us back. Well, we've got a slight little break in play as we wait for the goal kick.
Ollie, I was playing against Spain, in Spain. Former Pararoo mentor, colleague, Chris Pine. It was his 100th game. And I scored the second goal in a 2-0 win with Mark Schwarzer watching on in attendance. It was a pretty special moment for me personally.
You're never going to forget your first, as Beeks looking to set up. Sutton almost back for Josh Beeks. Blocked by Ben Sutton in the end. Let's have a play for a throw this time. Rolled in short, Murphy. And Beeks in towards Bitseekers. Murphy now across for Launder. Murphy for Josh Beeks. Could this be the moment? They'll be celebrating that one hard in Bendigo. Josh Beeks with his family in attendance, scores Australia's third, and it's party time here at the home of the Matildas.
Australia goal scored by our debutant, number 6, Joshua Beeks. The score is now Australia 3, India 0.
Beeks on again here, having a look for a quick second, almost found it. And Luke Launder, in terms of maiden Pararoos goals, it is over to you. How good a moment for Josh Beeks. We were saying yesterday, weren't we, that Josh Beeks almost could have got a run yesterday when Australia was 7-1 up. He's an FC3, which makes it a bit harder, but he's got his run today and he's got a goal as well.
He's such a good player, Josh Beeks, and a wonderful human being as well. Certainly very popular amongst in the Pararoos camp, and has worked very, very hard to make the squad for this tournament. He's been on the fringes of heading away with the team for some time, and so to see him...
Oh, off the bar again! From Sutton. That's the point you were making. That would have been incredible.
Too much action for me, Ollie.
Yeah, there is.
But yeah, to see Josh Beeks on debut and with a goal as well, it mean a lot to him, to his family, to the other players as well. They certainly would have wanted this for him.
Ben Sutton almost had a second as well. You wait 11 caps without scoring, and then you almost have 2 in the space of about 9 minutes. Launder to hit one, low, almost diverted in inadvertently from Kumar. Behind for another Australian corner. Again, we don't have corner statistics, but it may well have been wise to keep tally because they've had a number of them inside the opening 18.5 minutes. Again, it goes short to Murphy, back for Bitsikas. Cut back, Beeks again, prods it wide. Of course, we saw earlier in the tournament Jeremy Boyce get his first Pararoos goal. You wouldn't have thought it would have been his first with the way he took it, but it was. And that means that the only Pararoos player in the squad not to have a Pararoos goal is Luke Launder, who's only in his 4th cap. And if he doesn't get one today, he'll have one before too long, I'm sure.
I'll tell you what, Ollie, I wouldn't put it past him to tuck on away, maybe even before the end of this first half.
Launder towards Beeks. He will certainly want one now. Maybe even more so than the start of the game, given he's seen so many open their accounts. It's behind for another Australia corner. Murphy. And still looking to get it across to Launder. He took it away from George. And then looks to try and glide away from Ajnas. Bitsikas. And now David Barber with a rare touch so far in the opening 20 minutes in his record-breaking day. And now with Launder in towards Sutton, who's getting himself into some really, really good positions. Launder back with Christian Bitsikas. Look to fire one on goal. Could break for Murphy! And Augustine Murphy breaks his 4-year goal drought. All the way back to 2019 when he scored against Canada at that year's World Cup. He finally scores for the green and gold again.
CommBank Pararoos goal scored by number 14, Augustine Murphy. The score is now Australia 4, India 0.
And Australia, their place in the final looks absolutely secure now, and their place at the World Cup likewise. It's Bitsikas looks to continue the party atmosphere here in Bundoora. Launder orchestrating things ahead of the ball. Bitsikas inside the area just. Launder, good feet, plays forward for Sutton across the face of goal. Bitsikas, or rather Beeks I should say, was almost in there at the goal mouth. Bitsikas just off the ball. Launder might have a strike. Couldn't quite find the back of the net.
He does back himself from range, Luke Launder. He's got quite the rocket on him, as does one Connor Bunce, who's sat on the bench today. Obviously the hat-trick hero in the game yesterday.
How good was that to watch? I left the ground here last night and watched that goal, the one from range away to the right, however many times, as Beeks nods on towards Sutton, looking to try and again trouble the goalkeeper, but in the end couldn't quite fire the shot away. Bitsikas for Beeks. Launder across for Taj Lynch, who elected to shoot and scores a belter. And it's his first goal since 2018. November 2018, 5 years he's waited. That one will be so sweet for Taj Lynch, who makes it 5 for Australia.
CommBank Pararoos goals scored by number 13, Taj Lynch. Scores out Australia 5, India 0.
India have a player down. And what a moment for Taj Lynch. He's someone, as we've spoken about on the air, Matt, you know so well. Doesn't often score for his country, but my word, he's some player, isn't he?
He absolutely is. Doesn't score often, but has played multiple positions for us. Has spent a fair bit of time controlling play through the centre of the park as well, which is where most of his previous goals have come from. He's just such a reliable player, a reliable teammate, a coach's dream as well. He is a coach himself, and quite a good one at that. So, he's the type of player that you always want out there, controlling the team, controlling the tempo of the game.
And so, Augustin Murphy has ended a 4-year goal drought in the first half. Taj Lynch, a 5-year goal drought. His last goal came against South Korea back in 2018. As we see the replay of that goal, it's some way to end the drought too, by the way. So we can get play back underway again. Launder. Beeks. Nice feet across the face. Sutton unable to get anything on it. Murphy to pick up the pieces. Sutton. Launder. And Lynch. He'll be playing with confidence now. Perhaps evidenced by Hans effort just there, but he couldn't quite find his second in as many minutes. But that turn from Josh Beeks was quite nice.
No, he's a very skillful player, Ollie, and may not see too much of it in this game, but has absolutely deadly speed as well. He's certainly an asset in transitional play in the games.
George with the goal kick. Lynch. Murphy. Skipping away from Ajnas. Still Augustin Murphy through the crowd. Sutton, yes! He's got 2 inside this first half, Ben Sutton. And we weren't all too sure whether he would get something on it. In fact, has he got the second? Wonder what's happened here. Looks like it's been ruled out. Infringement right at the goal mouth. Apparently, A little bit of confusion, but Ben Sutton's would be second won't count. Wonder what happened there.
I couldn't tell you, Ollie. I thought for all money that was Ben Sutton's second of the game.
Got a replay upon the screen. Austin Murphy looking to move in field, had the shot on goal. Oh, hit the arm. Hit the arm, that's why. On the replay, it's clear to see. Not so much initially, but definitely struck the arm, and when it hits the hand in a goal-scoring move, and it won't count, and that one was rightly ruled out. Beeks letting it run. Behind by Kumar.
Bit of an unfortunate one there, Ollie. The ball obviously striking Ben Sutton's impaired arm, as happens quite frequently in this game. I think had the score been different, we might have seen a different call, perhaps.
Mindful. It's another corner. It is a tough one, isn't it? When you've got an arm that's tucked into the body. Sometimes the ball will strike and there's nothing that a player can do. But those are the rules, I suppose. Lynch, Sutton, Murphy, Taj Lynch. It was beautiful football in the build-up, but again, Australia's number 13 unable to keep it down. Beeks, it's a rolling board. George helping it behind for another Australia corner. Launder outside of the boot towards Sutton. Almost brought kindly for Murphy. Had it taken away from him well by Govindaraj. Seekers with the bodywork. Murphy again to cut one back towards Seekers. Son looking to open on, deflected en route and helped away eventually for another Australia corner. Looks like another short corner on the way. There was a player short. Lynch and Luke Launder to hit one. Knocked away. Launder gets by George, still Luke Launder! And there's his first Pararoos goal. Goes with the heart as a celebration, and I bet he's loving this as well. 6 for Australia. On the verge of half-time, Luke Launder at the near post, also opening his Pararoos account.
CommBank Pararoos goal scored by number 9, Luke Launder. The score is now Australia 6, India 0.
And now we've got 6 individual goal scorers. The 6 outfielders have scored.
1 minute of time.
And so Kai Lammett, if you're listening, there's only one player out there in the starting 7 who hasn't scored. Get David Barber a green and gold shirt.
I'm sure he'd love to have one in his 110th cap, Ollie.
We've seen a couple of goal scorers from goalkeeper in the women's side of things. As Launder goes on, his shot blocks Masami Ryochi and Carly Salmon of Japan and Australia respectively. There's the half-time whistle. And so in David Barber's 110th cap, he's gone by Mark Schwarzer, who had 109 for the Socceroos. He's not a lot to do, but all of the outfielders have done stuff ahead of him. 6 individual goal scorers: Beeks, Bitsikas, Launder, Sutton, Lynch and Murphy. And they're all important goals to each one of those players who have either opened their Pararoos accounts or broken long droughts in the process. And so it looks like being a wonderful occasion for the Pararoos in more ways than one. 30 more minutes before the end of this one. And if 3 points are secured at full time, it will be a Men's World Cup berth and also a spot in the final on Saturday. As Australia get to the change rooms, it is Australia 6, India 0 at the break. And Matty, there's not much more we could hope for Australian point of view, is there?
Absolutely not, Ollie. It's been a really good half of football. Obviously, Australia very much in control of the game and have been really dominating the flow of possession. Great to see some debutants getting on the score sheet, and obviously some massive goal droughts broken, as you mentioned. Aussies just getting the job done today, and you see as well, now that the goals come in, and I'm sure we'll see a couple more in the second half. They're not needing to celebrate too egregiously. They understand that they don't necessarily need to add any sort of insult to injury here for India, who are putting up a valiant effort in defence as well, even if the score sheet may not be dictating that way.
Yeah, they got through the opening 10 minutes or so without conceding, which is the first time they've done that all tournament. They did defend really well to start with, but eventually the resistance told just on David Barber. His last goal was in 2019, so he's got a goal drought as well.
It might be time to break that one. Maybe we see a goalkeeper change for the second half. Who knows?
I know that, rule 101 of being a commentator is to be unbiased, but if you may allow us just this, David Barber scoring in a record-breaking game would be rather incredible. And I don't know if there is an outfield shirt prepared for David Barber. I'm not in with all the logistics behind the 4 walls of the Pararoos, but maybe one to watch for the second half. We'll take a short break here as part of SBS's coverage of the 2023 IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships. Australia leading India by 6-0. Both Matt Hearn and myself, Oliver Walker-Peel, will be back with you on the other side of the break. Stick with us here on SBS On Demand. Goes short again, Bitsikas. Back for Beeks, inside the area. Goes over, he was tripped. Penalty Australia. Goes short again, Bitsikas. Back for Beeks, inside the area. Goes over, he was tripped. Penalty Australia. He is yet to score in green and gold. Ben Sutton, off the bar and in! He is yet to score in green and gold. He is yet to score in green and gold. Welcome back for one final time to the home of the Matildas for the second half of this day 6 clash between Australia and India. Australia leading 6-0 in a game that they need to win. And you think more goals will be on the way as Australia have made one half-time alteration. Taj Lynch has come off and Alessandro Lavagetta has taken his place.
Pararoos fans, if you're up in the set in the green and gold, let's see you get nice and loud.
India will kick us off for this second half, whatever you want to go with. Oliver Walker-Peelan. Matt Hearn here with you, and Matt, from that first half, it was really a perfect Pararoos half an hour, wasn't it?
It really was, Ollie. Getting the job done relatively early in the half, seemingly putting the game to bed. 6-0 is a pretty nice cushion for us. And starting the game with some inexperienced legs on the park, getting all important touches for them, and some all-important big game experience. And they'll look to build through the second half, hold on to the lead. I'm sure David Barber won't want to risk losing a clean sheet in his 110th cap. We were just speculating before, Ollie, as well. Christian Sangus was warming up in the half as Luke comes through on goals.
And Ben Sutton, that one won't be taken away from him. Had one ruled out for handball in the first half. But that one will count, and it's number 7 for Australia. And Ben Sutton has a brace. Australia have 7. Good work by Luke Launder to set it all up. And Ben Sutton wasn't going to miss from there.
CommBank Pararoos goal scored by number 12, Ben Sutton. The score is now Australia 7, India.
And we were speculating that David Barber may well get a run. We asked the question, did they have a green and gold number 7 ready for David Barber? And we've just received word that there absolutely is a green and gold number 7 ready. And so for the next half an hour or so, we will be waiting with bated breath to see if it is used. Christian Sangus would go into the goalkeeping position and put the gloves on, you would think, and he is more than capable. Beeks looking to combine with Bitsikas. It's back with Australia's number 8, who looks to lift one towards Murphy, attacking it, and he probably should have scored. Looks like a change is being readied here. George. Sandra Lavagetta. And it will be Christian Sangus who will come on here for Australia with the trademark baseball cap. Launder and Murphy looking to get it back towards Luke Launder. Couldn't quite get there. So Luke Launder, who got his first half goal, to try and make it number 2. And Christian Sangus will be coming on here for Australia as Murphy prodded across for Launder, who put it over the top. And the number 7 of David Barber comes up.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for our number 7, David Barber, who today becomes the most capped senior Australian male player, overtaking Mark Schwarzer with 110 caps for his country.
Guard of honour formed at the halfway line. Just soak this all in. Every single Australian over to congratulate him. Congratulations, David Barber. You are a champion.
Christian Sangus.
Lavagetta. I tell you what, you'd be hard-pressed to find a dry eye in the stadium after that. It's Sekus and Launder and Sutton, who's on a hat-trick, it must be said. Lavagetta. Sekus. Across for Alessandro Lavagetta off the post. Plenty of Australians in attendance here, rising to their feet. They thought that was in, but not to be. Jeremy Boyce warming up for Australia. It's played across from Launder to Christian Bitsikis, onto his right foot. Beeks is there. Blocked away by Kumar. Beeks back with the ball. Launder. And now it's through to Murphy. Ben Sutton looking to try and get there. Australians appealing for a back pass. And those appeals will fall on deaf ears. Beeks looking in the direction of Sutton. Launder. And still, good work by at first Ajnas and then George to help India get it away. Lavagetta from range. Couldn't quite keep it down. Launder. Sekus looking to curl one. That was almost so exquisite. For Australia's number 8, it would have been number 8 on the scoreboard for the Aussies, but couldn't quite get enough curl on it. Of course, David Barber coming off, and that was the headline in that moment. So we'll come back to the thought in a minute. It's Australia in the corner, but it's an opportunity now for Christian Sangus that he rarely gets. He hasn't had a consistent run at it in the Australia team. He's a very valued member of the squad. Now his 6th cap for his country and his 2nd at this tournament, as it's rolled across from Lavagetta to Launder, who goes inside the box. Sutton! And you expected the net to bulge. Ben Sutton almost with a fairy tale hat-trick. Ajnas goes over. Foul by Launder. Launder ran into George. Now with Alessandro Lavagetta, who has the armband on now that David Barber's off. It's always strange to see another Pararoo, not named David Barber, wearing the captain's armband, it must be said. Launder to the outside for Bitseekers. Out to play of Govindaraj for another Australia corner. Alessandro Lavagetta hitting one. Offline. Lovely turn from Ajnas. Got away from Lavagetta, but didn't go much further forward than that. Beaks looking for the shot, broke for Launder. Lavagetta. Bitseekers inside the area. Good challenge from Balian. Ball just behind for another Australian set piece. As treatment is called for Nitin Balian. They play down for India at the moment, and hopefully he's okay to continue, but well, we've got a break in play. We didn't really talk about David Barber after the substitution, but we've spoken a lot about him, and I'm sure his family may well get sick and tired of us talking about him, the amount of airtime he's getting. But how good was it to see the crowd here in Bandura applaud off one of the biggest legends, not only in para football, but in Australian football just a few minutes ago.
Oh, it's incredibly special. You know, we talk about the significance of this tournament, of having another home tournament for the first time in 20 odd years, and to be on this platform with significantly more recognition than we've ever had before as a squad. You know, David Barber's name continues to grow, and more people continue to hear of his story and his leadership and all of the ways that he's affected the game, the program. I mean, he's certainly one of the greats in the history of world CP football, not only in this country. So it's really great to see him have this moment here in front of the fans, in front of his family, and the teammates as well, who he has had significant positive impact on in all of their lives and their footballing careers.
And there's one player who's been with David Barber more than most. He's not been there all the way back since the 90s, but Ben Roach will be coming on alongside Jeremy Boyce in a moment as Lavagetta shoots, and eventually it goes behind for a corner. Last off, Pandiyarajan Govindaraj. As Josh Beeks' Pararoos debut will come to an end here. And it is a day that he'll remember forever. His first Pararoos cap, his first Pararoos goal. Player number 62 to represent the Pararoos, and Augustin Murphy is the other player withdrawn with Benny Roach coming on.
Jeremy Boyce. Also coming off number 14, Augustine Murphy. To be replaced by number 2, Ben Roach.
Ben Roach, cap 62. Jeremy Boyce, cap 9. It's played across from Roach for Luke Launder. His shot low and cleared away only as far as laundered by Naveen Malik. Boyce touches into space, shoots. Again, it's blocked. And that's a free kick for India. Given away by Jeremy Boyce. Boyce, nice sidestep. Now with Launder on the Australia right. Back with Jeremy Boyce. Across for Ben Roach. Still Ben Roach. His attempted cross into the middle blocked. Launder. Sutton, back with Launder. Heavy first touch. His second was good enough to keep it in. And Sutton then couldn't keep it alive. And I'll tell you what, I think that's the furthest away from goal that Ben Sutton has been all afternoon. He's performed his role well as Australia's number 12. Lavaguetta. Boyce. And he was clipped just as he was about to play the ball, and so Australia will have a free kick. Given away by Govindaraj. Bitsikas and Ben Roach over the ball. Bitsikas over the top of it. Roach, goal bound and palmed away. Ajnas lost out to Roach. Nice bit of skill, Ben Roach. Off the post, Sutton for the hat-trick! What a moment for Ben Sutton. Approaching the end of his Pararoos career. But when he eventually bows out, he'll have a Pararoos hat-trick to his name. Opportunistic from Australia's number 12. And while there have been rather muted celebrations after Australia goals, you can forgive him for celebrating a little after that one. A Ben Sutton hat-trick. Barber in appearance number 110. Goals for Beeks and Launder and Lynch and Bitsikas, a debut for Josh Beeks. Augustine Murphy with a 4-year goal drought. What more could you ask for?
It's all going pretty well for us, isn't it, Ollie? Just on before with a hat-trick for Ben Sutton. He's the type of player who hasn't seen a great deal of the park in his time with the team, but is absolutely vital to team talks, to team analysis. He's certainly got one of the best football brains in the team, and always knows where to be, always knows the positions that he needs to be in and the runs to make when he's on the park. Really, really happy for him to have been on the score sheet and to have picked up a hat-trick today, and it'll mean the world to him too.
Yeah, and he did tell me last night that this tournament would be his final one as a player with the Pararoos. He did say to announce it when the Pararoos had got to the final, and given that they're 8-0 up and he's got a hat-trick, I feel like now is the perfect time to announce that. What a player he is. He's not quite got the number of caps that he otherwise could have, but that's not what matters when you talk about Ben Sutton. He means a lot more to this team than just his footballing abilities and what he does on the pitch. He does plenty more off it that so many don't see as well. I think that's the legacy that he'll leave as a player, and he did assure me that he wouldn't be a stranger to the Pararoos setup, so I made the joke and jest that a Pararoos camp without Ben Sutton isn't quite a Pararoos camp, and it was positive when he said that he wouldn't be going too far, even if he won't be out there as a player. But while so much of the pre-match was about David Barber, and rightly so too, it's good to see Ben Sutton get some time in the sun as well. Corner for Australia. Roach for Boyce, and back with Australia's number 2. He looks to turn it back for Boyce. The Buzz Cut boys almost combining for Australia there in Boyce and Roach. Having known both of them with hair previously, it is rather strange as Launder sidesteps away from Ajnas into the box. Launder looking to fire one into that bottom left corner. Alessandro Lavagetta teeing one up and sending it high and over the bar. I would have said the only thing that we're missing is a David Barber goal outfield, but given that Christian Sangus has gone in between the sticks, we'll take that as well. He's a Bundoora local, Christian Sangus, so grew up just down the road from here. Quite literally. As Roach will have a hit, it went low. Roach again. Did that take a deflection? Didn't bounce behind for a corner. Ben Roach is another one who's had a long wait for a goal. Last scored in 2019 against Canada. It's helped away. And again, out of play. Bit Seekers at the edge of the box. Good bit of defending by Balian. Good to see him back up on his feet after being down earlier on. Boyce. Lavagetta. Launder. Heavy touch allowed Deepak Kumar in. A shot from range over the top from Boyce. The crowd applaud it. And they may as well, given that Australia's still trying to add to the lead. Of course, Jeremy Boyce missed the game in front of the crowd at Manly in February, played the one behind closed doors. So he missed that chance to play in front of crowds, but haven't the crowds loved him at this tournament? Boyce back on the ball. Roach. Pitsikas. 1-2 with Ben Roach. Pitsikas again with Ben Roach to hit one! Palmed over the top. The last player with a long goal drought remaining. Perhaps if you exclude Alessandro Lavagetta, that is, who's also been waiting a long time for one. Lavagetta on cue! Away in the end by Madhupilli Raman. Roach letting it run. Sutton's there in the middle. Roach going alone. Will break again for Lavagetta, who may well have a hit. Curling one. That was well away. So I suppose we can turn our attention forward to Saturday briefly, Matt, and it's going to be a big game between Australia and Iran. Of course, Iran aren't an easy side to play, but how do you reckon Kyle Ammett and his team will approach it?
Ollie, we were chatting briefly off camera before about if we go into that game against Iran the same way that we went into yesterday's game against Japan, I think that we can really take it to them. Obviously, Iran, a top 3 team in the world, certainly in the upper echelon of world CP football powerhouses. They are historically dominant and certainly against us. But I think we fielded a squad that really can take it to any team in the world on it. As Jeremy Boyce scores a goal.
As he does, he gets his second for his country and number 9 for Australia. Good build up again. Jeremy Boyce getting another for Australia. Makes it number 9. Back to your point.
Yeah. I think we can field a team, and we have the weapons and the individual skill to take it to any team in the world on our day. If we play with the composure and the confidence that we did against Japan, I really think that we could be in store for a big upset, and I think the team will be confident, particularly off the back of this game here and off the run of success and the run of momentum, that we can really put it to Iran on Saturday.
Tickets are available. So if you're an Australian who hasn't got Saturday night plans, get yourself down here, as India will make a change with the Team Balian coming off.
The Team Balian will be replaced by number 10, Vinesh.
It looks like Vinesh Madipilli Raman will be coming on. It did say he was listed to starting goal, but must be Vinay's in between the sticks. There's a long shot. Saved by Christian Sangus. And the Victorian crowd loves that from the Bandura local. Launder down the right, keeps it in, cuts it back towards Sutton, who couldn't quite get there. Here's Benny Roach! Saved by Vinay. As Caelan Van Heer gets ready to come on. Launder. Lavagetta. Jeremy Boyce. Ben Roach! How clever! Not every 35-year-old can do that. A late birthday present for Ben Roach, who, with a roulette, got a slight touch.
Pararoos goal scored by number 2, Ben Roach.
And it was a very slight one.
Slight may be the operative word there, Ollie, but Benny will certainly claim it, and we spoke before about the goal drought. Make no mistake, Ben Roach is one of the most prolific goal scorers in Pararoos history. He's historically had a nose for goal, and it'll mean a lot to him to get on the score sheet here in front of a home crowd.
As Ben Sutton comes off for Caelan Van Heer. And we've spoken at length about Benny Sutton today, and what he's been able to do this afternoon. A great moment for him. Could well be his final Pararoos appearance. You'd think he would be required on Saturday, though. Launder in towards Caelan Van Heer, who almost made it 11. That's a play from Cijo George. Van Heer. Launder slipping. Lavagetta. And now with Bitsikas. Launder will take it on. Rolls in towards the middle. George getting back to do his defensive duties. Has to play for yet another Australia corner. How many times have we said that today? Is it short from Bitsikas? Launder, Lavagetta. He's the only one now waiting for a goal. Alessandro Lavagetta, he still waits. Last goal against Germany back in 2019. He's got 2 in his previous 14 caps for Australia. As we'll have 2 minutes at the end of the second half.
2 minutes of time added on. 2 minutes.
Here's Launder. Cross for Ben Roach. The edge of the box hits one, and well, sometimes you wait so long for one and two come along at once. It's the old London bus cliche for Benny Roach, who has a quick-fire double to bring Australia to number 11.
And I think there can be much less speculation about who got the final touch on that one there, Ollie. That definitely came off the boot of Ben Roach.
I'm giving him the 10th as well, for what it's worth. But that one, you're right, there is no doubt. As Sangus will just let that one run. And in and around Bundoora and Preston tonight, there will be a party atmosphere that'll extend right the way through. This Boyce works the 1-2 with Launder. Van Heer's there in the middle. Blasts it straight to Vinay, who made a quite wonderful point-blank save. Looks raw money like it was going to be 12-0 to Australia, and Caelan Van Heer knows where the back of the net is, but couldn't quite find it there. Roach to hit one, goes low, almost has a hat-trick. So as we wind down a huge day for the Pararoos, of course they've been going since 1998, the 25th year anniversary this year for the team. Few days have been more monumental than this. The referee checks the watch and brings an end to a wonderful day for the Pararoos. David Barber, now the most capped by an Australian male. He's gone by Mark Schwarzer at 109, David Barber with 110. And his teammates did so well to ensure that 3 points would be added on for him. Australia progress through to the final of the 2023 Men's IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships tournament. The Paramatildas are there in the women's, the Pararoos are there in the men's. It's a double Australia final in the respective tournaments. And if you're of the green and gold persuasion, whether you're born into it or you find your way in, it's a wonderful place to be at the moment. David Barber, who's over chatting to the India staff. It was wonderful to see, by the way, the Indian players also applauding David Barber off when he made his way off the park. As the Australia players applaud the fans. And David Barber going over to the officials as well. And he'll be the subject of so many photographs and interviews and media content, and he leads the applause to the Australian fans. that Pararoos dressing room will be quite a lovely place to be, Matty Hearn, when that song of theirs rings around in a few minutes' time. There may well be some delayed nature to that singing, given there'll be some post-match presentations for David Barber as the Indian and Australian teams come together for a photo. And everything about this afternoon has been absolutely brilliant, hasn't it?
It's been spectacular, Ollie. Obviously a very special occasion for all of the reasons that we've touched on here. This is wonderful to see as well from these two teams here. Obviously, the Indian CP football program is still one that is very much developmental and looking to improve from here, and hopefully for many Asia-Oceania championships to come.
And it's two countries' programs that are on different ends of the world rankings, it must be said, but there's nothing saying that India can't be up there in the years to come, particularly with this tournament being broadcast and more eyes being on the tournament. You never know where India could be, and on the flip side of that, you never know where Australia could be in the next few years following this, with the amount of people having cerebral palsy in this country. Both the Pararoos and Paramatildas are places you can get to, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's a wonderful place for cerebral palsy football to be, and to be a part of it is absolutely wonderful. As in a moment we'll cross down to hear from some of the Pararoos players. I wonder who that first player will be interviewed. I wonder who it'll be.
It's anybody's guess, Ollie. I reckon there might be a special jersey down there for one Mr. David Barber as well.
There we were briefed of that. That'll be presented to David Barber. It is there in and around the dugouts. I saw it just before a glimpse across. I don't know where it's got to now, but David Barber getting ready to receive all of the adulation, and he deserves it as we'll cross down there now to hear from David Barber.
Let's just see what we've been told to hold off. It's all right, just pretend like nothing happened.
Or maybe not. We've been told just to wait for something. And now we play the waiting game. Are we ready now? We can't be far off, so we'll move down towards the main pitch where David Barber is on standby.
By a very special man for the CommBank Pararoos in Australian football. Today you have become the most capped senior Australian male player, overtaking Mark Schwarzer with 110 caps to your name. I guess, how does that sit with you? How does that feel?
I'm incredibly proud. First of all, I want to say thank you to my teammates, my coaches, my family in particular, and everyone who helped make a number like this possible. It doesn't happen overnight. Clearly, it took 24 years. But, yeah, there's a lot of people that sort of make it happen behind the scenes that really need to be acknowledged as well. And, you know, an achievement like this is sort of a thank you to all of them for believing in me, helping me along the way, and to the chance to share it with everybody here today, of course, is incredibly wonderful as well. So, yeah, I'm really happy.
There's one more before we celebrate. In terms of seeing the program and how far it's come, I mean, it must really make you look back and just see, wow, you know, guys like yourself, Ben Roach, big names in this Australian lineup who have been there for the longest time and been there to see how far it's come. I guess, what does that mean to you as well?
That's really why we keep doing it. You know, the fact that we can make opportunities for young kids, not just coming through our program now, but the kids that are watching at home or in the stands here today, and give the team for them to dream towards and to play in one day. That's really what it's all about. And, you know, the chance to pull on the jumper for Australia is always special, whether it's your first time or your 100th time. But, you know, the fact that we can make that opportunity for other kids moving forward is really the most important part of all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Benny Roach here standing by with a little surprise for David Barber. Can you please put your hands together? A historical day for Australian football. David Barber
becomes the most senior capped senior men's player in Australian history, overtaking Mark Schwarzer with 110 caps.
And there may not be a more fitting player to give the shirt to David Barber than Ben Roach, someone who's been there for so long. He made his debut in 2005, did Ben Roach. He was a young man then. David Barber was a young man when he first stepped into the Pararoos setup. They've both grown with this team, and David Barber, an absolute legend. He stands alone now from Mark Schwarzer. Chris Pine is the second most capped Pararoo with 104. Another player that he's been with for a long time, David Barber, and seen a lot through this Pararoos program. And it's a ceremony and the adulation that's really fit for the man that David Barber is. And he's a humble man. He, in part, I don't think would want all of this to be about him, but at some point we've got to recognise that legends like him don't come around all that often. And David Barber has really typified what it means to be a Pararoo and really what it means to be an Australian. Whole team and group photo with all the coaches. -1. And now they're all there with Kyle Lambert alongside. Maybe, are we still waiting on a couple? This photo will happen eventually, I'm sure of it. But it's wonderful to see so many people who make the Pararoos what they are, all together in the one photo. It's quite incredible, really. And for Australia to have a team like this is absolutely wonderful. Discussions between Kyle Lambert and David Barber. And there is that photo. The wind isn't really helping with the shirts, but Barber 110 is what it reads. And there is the applause to follow it all. The players break away to see their family. And while so many players have respective families here, Matt, the green and gold is a real family, isn't it? It's become like a family.
It absolutely is. You know, the team culture throughout the years, it's always been a place where kids and adults with CP can feel safe, can feel seen, and you know, as the Pararoos continue to grow, the awareness for CP football, for athletes, for people with cerebral palsy continues to grow. I know as a junior coming into the squad, I myself had no role models to look up to who had cerebral palsy, and now I have, you know, 14 of them down there on the park. And that doesn't change as the team continues to change, you know. The coaches and the players do an incredible job of making sure that the legacy of this team is secure and that the culture of this team remains an absolute joy and an absolute privilege to have been a part of.
Looks like Josh Beeks and David Barber will be heading over for interviews. I would just say on the topic of role models, just very quickly, I don't want to bring myself into this much at all, but my first role model with CP was Ben Roach. I'll be honest, he was the first person I could sort of look up to and go, wow, there's someone with cerebral palsy that's playing for the country, and to have that mirrored and echoed across so many people, likely across the country, is one of the best things about these championships. And to know that so many people with cerebral palsy are looking at the TV screen and seeing people like them doing what they love is absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure David Barber, much like Ben Roach, has been that for many people as well. As we wait for these interviews to take place, and it's interesting to see that camera shot from there right next to the media zone with Beeks and Barber, cap 1 and cap 110. 111 caps between them, mind. And if you heard that without context, you'd be going, well, Josh Beeks has been going around for a while. Hopefully he does.
Hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. There's certainly a bright future ahead of young Joshua Beeks.
Once again, thank you for your support and a safe journey home, and we'll see you tomorrow.
The PA there just saying that the Australia final is tomorrow for the Paramatildas, and of course it is a 7 o'clock start as the Paramatildas look for their first international trophy. They came so close at the Women's World Cup last year, finishing second, but could very well by the end of tomorrow night have a continental success to their name. And that game will of course be live on SBS On Demand, but if you can get down, make sure to, and we'll go down now to hear from mixed zone. It's Kai Lammett who fronts the media first.
We're here with Kai Lammett, head coach of the CommBank Pararoos. Congratulations, Kai. What did you tell the players going into this important game this evening?
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, obviously the boys needed to be focused from the very start, and I mean there was high stakes up for grabs. So we've got our World Cup spot now next year, and obviously a final to look forward to on Saturday.
What did you tell these young players? We had Joshua Beeks, now cap number 62. What was your advice to him going into his first international at his home ground here in Melbourne?
I was predominantly to enjoy, right? I mean, these are sort of the moments they're working for very, very hard. So it all comes down to enjoying these sort of things, right? Like work's done. And the boys did really, really well today, Obviously, once the nerves were out of the way after the first few minutes, we had a bit more flow, and that was very important. And, yeah, they did themselves very, very proud.
How exciting is it to see so many goal scorers in this team that is so young?
Yeah, no, that's right. I think we had nearly everyone on the score sheet today, and it shows as well that we have got a lot of depth in our team now in our squad. And, yeah, I think the future looks very bright for the Pararoos.
We are going into the final on Saturday night here at the home of the Matildas against world number 3 Iran. What will you be showing the boys tomorrow? What will you be telling them? How will we prepare this team for Saturday's big final?
I mean, we know Iran now as well. They know us. So it will be an interesting battle, and we're really looking forward to the challenge. I mean, we had a very good game in the second half against them the last time we met them. So, the boys will be ready. They'll be up for it. It's our home ground. So I hope as many people as possible can come down here and support the boys because they truly deserve that. And yeah, it's going to be a great final on Saturday.
Any last words for fans ahead of the big game?
Yeah, just get out here. Just the best $25 you ever spent. Get out here and support the boys.
Thanks very much, Kai. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So that was Pararoos coach Kai Lammett. There is a number of players now over in and around the cameras with David Barber and Josh Beeks over there, and David Barber will be next to speak to the media, and of course it's absolutely warranted. We'll go to hear from the Pararoos captain now.
We're here with David Barber, captain of the CommBank Pararoos. Congratulations on 110 caps. How does it feel?
Honestly, I feel amazing. I was really happy that today went so well. Obviously, a really good result puts us through to the final on Saturday, which is what we came here to do. And the team did great. We had some guys make their debut today as well, which made it even extra special. And the fact that I get to do it here in front of home fans and family and friends as well is what makes it pretty much a perfect day.
Barbs, tell us about your journey, 24 years in this team. What does it mean to you to stand here today, about to go into a final with this team, with the 110 caps?
Honestly, it'll probably sink in a little bit later. We'll go recover shortly and start our preparation for Saturday. That's the most important thing. But honestly, it means the world to see how far the team has come over the years, to see, the program going from strength to strength and creating opportunities now, not just for young boys, but the women's team as well, doing so well as they are. That's probably the proudest thing of all, is to watch all the other players that are coming here now and getting their chance to shine, and boys and girls all over the country have an opportunity now to dream to be a Pararoos and a Paramatilda, which is the greatest legacy of all.
Tell us about your first time with this team. How much has the program changed, and where do you see it going in the future?
The first time was pretty low key. It was very low key, to be fair, but all the great journeys start with a single step, and that was the first step for us. And this is just still very much the beginning. There's so many more things that we want to accomplish, not just with this group, but setting up for the future for groups that will follow us. We want to get to the top 4 in the world. We want to get to winning championships, not just pushing for finals, but winning championships as well. That's our goal, and we'll keep working towards that no matter what.
How exciting is it for you as a captain to see these young players coming through and really pushing this team as far as they can go?
That's probably the best part of all, because without them pushing us, then we don't get better. So the fact that they're so hungry, so energetic, and they really change the dynamic every single time they come out on the field, that's the best part of all. Watching young guys like Joshy Beeks, Kaylin Van Heer, Christian Betsikas, we've got young Christian Sangus in goal as well, who pushes me every day, which is perfect. That's what you want in a great team. You need to have competition at all times, and we've got the most competitive but happy group of guys behind the scenes as well.
What are you going to say to this team leading into the final on Saturday? How does your leadership kind of help them prepare, and what can we look forward to in the game against Iran?
It'll be all about keeping the moment in perspective. So making sure that we start well, keep control of our emotions, play good football, and be measured and careful, because Iran are a very quality side, and we need to make sure that we execute what we do really well to the best of our ability and let the game flow from there. If we worry too much about all the other stuff, the noise that we call it around the outside, then that becomes difficult to control. So we just focus on what we do really well, and the rest should take care of itself.
What are your words for fans ahead of the big game on Saturday?
Most importantly of all, please come down. If you haven't got anything to do on Saturday afternoon, please come down. We would love to see everybody here and make as much noise as possible. If you can't be here in person, please tune in on SBS On Demand, because we're going to love to put on a show for everybody. It's going to be a special day, and can't wait.
Thanks, Barbs. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pararoos captain David Barber, a record-breaking captain with a record-breaking 110th Australia cap. At the penultimate interview done, and we'll go from someone who has just received cap 110 to someone who's just received cap number 1. From one end of the spectrum to the other, it'll be Pararoos number 6 in Josh Beeks next, who will speak to the media now. Here is Josh Beeks.
We're here with Joshua Beeks, cap number 62 for the CommBank Pararoos. Congratulations on your international debut. How does it feel?
Extraordinary. I mean, it's really special. I mean, I've been waiting on it for this whole tournament, and it's just really special to be able to do this at home with family supporting, friends watching, and a great group of guys. So it's really special.
Tell us who's in the stand for you today. Who is cheering the loudest?
Mum and Dad. They're always cheering the loudest, but the whole fam's there. Yeah, Kate, James. Yeah, so it's really special to have them here.
What has it taken for you to be here, Beeksy, in terms of your preparation and your time with the team? Tell us about that preparation and what it means to be standing here today.
Yeah, it means everything. I mean, I've been at camps for years now, and finally being able to break into the squad, it means everything to me, and all that hard work I've put in over the years.
Congratulations on scoring also. What did that feel like, to kick your first international goal?
That's great. It was great. There's no other way to put it. I mean, that's the goal at the end of the day, and I did that, so I'm really happy with myself.
What are you most looking forward to about taking on world number 3 Iran on Saturday? We've played them once before already in this tournament. What are you looking forward to personally?
I think we can do it. I mean, we just have to play our football. We showed Iran that we can score against them. We scored our first goal against them earlier in this tournament, so I believe that we can do that again and get a result.
Amazing. Congratulations, Bigsy. Well done.
Thank you.
Josh Beeks, cap number 62 in terms of the players to represent Australia for this Pararoos team, as David Barber chats to a couple of family members before he heads down to the tunnel. This will be about where we wrap things up. And so with both group stages now complete, we head towards the final stages of this 2023 IFCPF Asia-Oceania Championships. Starts tomorrow night with the only game on day 7, and it is a huge one. The Paramatildas will take on Japan in a quest for continental supremacy, and will be live just before 7 p.m. It will be just me to start with, because we may or may not have the resident co-commentator with some other duties right before then, but he will be with us at some point. Will Matt Hearn alongside myself, Oliver Walker-Peel. It's been a privilege again to bring the action from day 6 to you as part of SBS's coverage of the tournament. Keep it locked on SBS On Demand for the next couple of days as the Pararoos and the Paramatildas try and bring it home for Australia. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. start for the Paramatildas and Japan. Bye for now.